All right, so as you can see, I've gone all the way around gluing down my petals. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this from working on what we would call a collage, which we've talked about before, to something where I might actually say mixed media, because now I'm going to introduce paint. So I have a paint set that I'm placing nearby, so I'm going to zoom out so y'all can see a little more of my workspace. Slide this down here. Here's my bucket of water and my paintbrush in it. So what I want to do is use paint colors to enhance what I have, not to necessarily change it. So I'm going to tap out my brush to get it ready, squeeze it out, and then I want to put some lighter parts on my flower stems and leaves. So I'm actually going to use white for that. Now, so it's really hard to paint over something with white. So I'm going to watch my brush as I'm loading it. So I'm going to run this around on there to load it with the white paint. And I can see my bristles on my brush are actually changing to white. So I know that there's enough on there for it to actually show. Because as soon as I put it on that dark green, that white, it's going to kind of start to look like it fades away, like it's almost disappearing. So you see how it went on, and I could really see it, but then the paint starts to kind of soak in a little bit and change color some. So if I need to later, I can always add a second coat. So I'm going to put some on here, and then over here. All right, so you might need a little bit more than that. You might need a little bit less. You're the artist and designer, so you're deciding. Now I want to focus on the middle part and the flower petals. So I'm going to load my brush with brown. Now this, we have to be a little careful. We do not want our flowers to look like they're dying. If you go back and you look at the photograph, you can see places where in those black areas, you actually see a little bit of brown. So what I'm going to do is stipple some brown in there, and maybe just like on half of it, not necessarily the whole thing, because I don't want to cover the black. I still want it to show, and I still want to see that brown on there. All right, but then I'm going to go in between some of the petals, so I'm going to load a little bit more brown on there, and I'm going to go here, here, here. So I'm actually showing the edges of the petals by putting those brown lines on there. So if you notice, I'm just sort of pressing the brush down on its side, so the line seems to come from the middle part onto the actual petals. And then I'm going to do one more here. Then I would need to do the same effect on the other one. Little more paint. All right, and now I am done. So I cannot wait to see how yours turn out and what you guys send me. So don't forget to submit this on Canvas to turn it in.